What up, people? It's Nickopz here, and today I'm going to be doing my first impressions video of ERMAC. Now, the character dropped about, 5, 6 hours ago, and I've been playing him nonstop. I've done some matches with the character, labbed him nonstop, and I want to give my first impressions on the character, on how good I think he is, and all that good stuff. Now, I want to be very clear. This is my first impressions video. So, obviously, I could be wrong on what I think about the character, and I'm going to do a final impression video on what I think about the character and all that good stuff. And I just want to get into talking about the character because the character actually has a lot, and it's been a roller coaster on how I feel about this character over these past 4 hours. So, first things first, how good do I think ERMAC is? Because I know, a lot of people take forever to get to that point. I want to make it very clear. I think this is a mid-tier character. Now, why I think that is because he has a lot of obvious strengths and he has a lot of obvious weaknesses. Now, as far as potential wise, I think he has the potential to be a top tier character based off of these cancels. Now, that is just potentially. As of now, I would say confidently this is the first DLC character that I think is just mid tier. And there's nothing wrong with that at all. I think he has, like I said, obvious strengths and obvious weaknesses, and I'm going to go over that. First things first, if I drop any combo, forgive me here because the character is new, but if we're going to talk about his biggest weakness, like right away, it's his damage. His damage is piss poor. Like, if you want to talk about his tools are good or things in his kit is good, that's fine, but that damage is trash. A little easy B&B is like something like this. That's 25, and that's like one of the easy ones to do. And if you want to do the harder version of that combo, it's something like this. That's 30. So that damage is okay. His meterless damage is fine, but him spending a bar and trying to cash out, that's where you see his damage is kind of lackluster because he can extend his combos with this move right here and everything, and he can, do this at like the end of combos, but there's no way to cash out. Like if I, hit them with a combo like this, and matter of fact, I'm gonna go for the harder link right here. So if I do that, there's no way for me to cash out and get, really good damage. And this is me opening you up with my launcher into another like launching string, and there's no way for me to cash out and get around 36, 37. Like Omni-Man could never. And he doesn't really have great damage. So that's his main weakness if we want to get that out of the way. The other thing that is a weakness is his mix-up department. But they already talked about that in the combat cast. His mix-up department is really lackluster. So he doesn't really have a lot of lows. But that's not a big deal because he has this overhead. And he has this low in this string right here. But as far as his only decent low that he can use all the time that can consistently open somebody up is this. This is a ground pound move. Now, I've only found one character so far that can get a combo off of this ground pound without meter. That is Cyrax. Cyrax can actually get a combo off of this stomp. And that is a very good thing that he can get a combo off of the stomp with Cyrax. But hopefully people find more characters that can get him a combo off of this, because this character, his flaws, I feel like they can be fixed with assists. But getting back to talking about his weaknesses, so the damage and his mix-up department. His mix-up department is very, very lackluster because he can only really cash out good damage. It's not even good damage, okay damage, if he does a meter burn stomp. And that meter burn stomp costs 2 bars. And that's his only way to get good damage off of a low, which that is not a problem for his archetype, but it's still a weakness. So, like I said, low damage, it doesn't really have good mix. And honestly, even to do his combos for how intricate some of them are, like the ones that have like the float cancels and everything, he doesn't get enough damage for, how, like that combo right there wasn't completely optimal. But seeing for all of that, like he doesn't even feel like he's getting that much for doing all of this stuff. So that's 28 for like a whole, like, for 2 cancels and everything. Like, you get what I'm trying to say here. The damage is not there. It's simple as that. And the tools are, though. He does have the tools to be a good character. So we've talked about some of the weaknesses. Let's get into some of the strengths of the character now. Now, first things first. That cancel, this cancel right here, oh, this cancel is ridiculous. The second I saw how real the cancel pressure is, especially with, if you use it correctly, oh my gosh, this cancel pressure could end up making him a monster. If we go ahead and set, like, doing stuff like that, he confirming the 1-2 into the grab and everything, and just getting in their face with the cancels and everything. He is going to be a very scary character when somebody starts to get these cancels down perfectly. And the cancels are real. Some of the cancels are real, so it's not like the cancels are just fake at all. He can actually do something with them. And he can also, use the cancel to cancel out of his long range buttons, which that's another strength of this character. So the cancels combined with the long range buttons, he can pressure you at a range and then get in your face, and now you have to deal with him, which that is very good, because right here, like, he has this high, like, you need to be scared of that right there. That kind of reminds me of like that Fujin button. You got to be scared of the high right here. You got to be scared of the mid right here. His range is very, very good. Like, very, very good. And you need to be scared of him at really good ranges where he can just play neutral and bully his way in with his amazing normals and cancels. So this right here into something like that, or the mid, if they start ducking, you can do the mid into that. And then something I'm seeing people on streams do with the character is they'll do this right here. They'll do this string right here, and then they'll back up with the cancel, because the cancel can also be used backwards, and they'll use that to try to catch a poke of them trying to get out of the pressure. So they'll do like this right here into cancel, and then do it again. So he's gonna have really nasty cancel pressure up close. He genuinely is. And another strength to talk about on top of that, his grab is also very good. That goes in with him rushing you down. So when he gets in your face, he can hit you with a grab. And see that grab, it does 11 damage, and it puts you at a range to where, his buttons are not really threatening, but he can get in there and like kind of check you with something with like a little okie. But the big strength is he has one of those grabs, and one of those grabs where, you get stuff like that. That is a very good thing. He can get some damage off of his grabs. Like if that hits right there, he can. You want to wait till you hear the crack and then just mash it and then do that. And then you can get a whole combo off of a grab. So that kind of, takes away some of the pain of him not having good mix-ups, because he can do his strike throw really well. Also, his auto shimmy is very good. He has a real auto shimmy as well. So this is definitely a rush down, get in your face character, like they said in the combat cast. He is. And I feel like if he had like more oppressive, like he can oppress you a certain type of way, but I feel like for his archetype, he's not oppressive enough to be considered just, oh, he's dumb top tier. But I do think it's good. Like what he can do is good. All of these ranged normals, like with no hurt box, from what it looks like, that he could just get in with. Also, that overhead. This overhead is a really good overhead. He can cancel off of it and get good damage off of it. He can cancel actually the overhead into the knee right here. If he does it fast enough, he can go overhead cancel into the knee string. Like I said, oh wait, I was doing the wrong button for the knee string. Forgive me, this character's new. So see, he can overhead, even cancel into the standing 4 off of the overhead cancel. And he can cancel into the knee stuff too, so in the knee into the float. And then, like I said, this right here is also very good, because yes, they can poke out of it like Sindel stuff, but he can condition them with he can condition them with finishing it. But it's not a mid, so you got to be careful with that. I'm just talking about the different options he can go, or he could do a ground pound low, which if you have bar, then they have to guess when you're doing this, and they got to guess this low all the time. This low is actually good. It's just we don't know what combos well with it yet. Only person I've seen is Yellow Bot, but that low is actually really good. So to sum up my first impressions of the character, he has really good rushdown tools. He has a consistent way to like enforce his will on you with his amazing normals. He has bad damage, and also back to that grab. Yeah, somebody can confirm this for me. I think his grab has more range than a normal grab. Look at that. Yeah, that definitely looks like. I don't know. It's because if he's not putting his arm forward. Y'all can correct me in the comments if I'm wrong, but that grab don't look normal. That's all I'm gonna say. That grab definitely looked like it got a little range on it. And that combined with him being like a pressure archetype character, yeah, that is gonna be scary to deal with when people get used to, the range of it. Because I've seen some people on the stream like trying to do it right here. They're not used to the range yet. But and also another weakness of him that should be mentioned is his wake up. His wake up is good because it's a ranged move, but it's a high. So being able to duck a wake up is not good. So that's just another weakness to throw out there. To sum it up, I think this character, like I said, he has a lot of obvious strengths, a lot of obvious weaknesses, and I feel like with time he might have the potential to be top tier when somebody figures out how to get the most out of his cancels and out of his stomps. But we're gonna have to wait and see. So like I said, my first impressions of ERMAC. Let me know what you think about him below. Like I said, I feel like he's like kind of a middle of the pack character so far, but like I said, this is my first impressions video. I can easily be wrong. I hope y'all enjoyed the video. Don't forget to check out all my links in the link tree, and Nickopz out.